life.
Alright, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, we're going to give all glory and honor to
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem HaKadosh.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, who teach and roll out, and peace and salutations select, being the sheep of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai with sincerity and truth and charity. I'm the brother Barak. I'm here with.
Yo, what's up?
And Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. And Lord. And we're gonna basically be doing this video on this judgment that the Lord is setting up the stage for judgment, right? And various other topics as well. But you're starting to see, right? And the Lord is setting up the stage for judgment. And you're seeing so around April 16th, right? The United States just got their last shipment of oil, supposedly, right? Shipment stopped around that time period, or from the Strait of Hormuz, right? Around that time period, April 15th, April 16th, they were receiving their last shipments that were coming from the Strait of Hormuz. And then on top of that, now you're seeing these other countries starting to feel effects of different, lack of resources like fertilizer, right? And then certain prices of plastics are increasing, right? The price of gasoline is increasing, and as a result, the transportation of things also increases. So it's all around increase of in different commodities, right? You got something?
This is Luke 21:11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall be from heaven.
Yeah, so the Lord is setting up the stage for all those things, right? For famines, right? You're going to see natural disasters. And then also on top of that, you have the U.S. military, right? If you look this up right now, U.S. military. Let's just go on my thing real quick. So it says morale is going to be at an all-time low. Iran war troops living on meager rations as postal service stops delivering. Right, so the U.S. military, they're living off literal rations right now. This is so-called most elite, highest military in the world, and your men can no longer get food sent to them. No more food rations. They have this. They have. You can literally look this up, and they just have a picture of them eating a tortilla and some pork.
And wasn't it a month ago they had them eating steak and lobster? So they try to butter you up. They try to get you feeling like they're taking care of you and you're in good hands. And slowly but surely, they're showing their true colors. And this is the book of Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So this devil, he's very smooth at speaking and deceiving, and that's what he's doing for all these people signing up, man.
Yeah, so you see this devil, what did he tell you? We're gonna get a G-Wagon, you're gonna get 100,000 right after that, right?
Loans for your house.
This is what the 2 Ezra 9, verse 22. It says, "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. But let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect." Right. So these people ultimately, these heathens, 2/3, right? We're speaking about the 2/3 of Israel mainly because the rest of you people we don't fucking care about. But especially to you 2/3, you didn't want to hearken on to the and these people that fell out. These people didn't want to hearken on to the words of the Lord. So some of their judgments may literally be to get sent off the war just to perish. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord is going to preserve, his certain men, his elect, right? And to not have to get those judgments. Right?
Fight for Esau.
But ultimately, when you're in the military, it's not some glorious thing. You're actually fighting against the Lord. You're fighting for Esau.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're fighting for Esau, then you're fighting against the Lord, man.
And these people are starting to realize, like, yo, we're not fighting for our country. We're fighting for those small hats. We're not fighting for a good cause. We're fighting for the selfish gain of these predators. You know, now these people are starting to see, man, the Epstein files, you know, exposed. These people, these characters that they once followed, that their parents once followed and idolized and had pictures of them in the wall. Because you know how Jake is, man. They fanboy over certain people. Be people that love Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston or whatever the case may be, man. And then just finding out the majority of these people, these A-list celebrities, are predators, man. You know, these people ain't worth shit, man. And this place don't give a shit about you, man. And ultimately, if you're of the elect, you're going to be protected during these times. But if you're not, then that's it, man. It's you're going to be destroyed. That's why you got to pray that you're in the Lord's Psalm 91 shelter.
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. These different idols and stuff, right? These people, they're not going to be known in the kingdom, right? Because what the scriptures say, look at Matthew 19. It says, "But many who are greatest now will be least important then, and those who seem least important now will be greatest then." Right? So the Lord is going to raise up His elect in that final hour, right? But these people that weren't, that are considered great now, yet, but they're not doing the work of the Lord. When the Lord comes back, right? Especially when all hell breaks loose, though, right? The Lord's not gonna give a fuck about goddamn Chris Brown, right? Now and in the kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the Lord doesn't give a fuck about, fucking, Shaquille O'Neal. In the kingdom, these people are gonna be like nobodies, bro. Because what work were they doing for the Lord? They were just singing and fucking playing sports and bouncing balls.
Yeah, folly. They were just folly.
You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, what does that scripture say? Let's bring this up. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 9, verse 10. It says, "For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain." Right, so that's the judgment that's coming to these 2/3, these people that didn't want to listen. A lot of them are gonna get sent off to war too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially these different YNs, different people. You thought it was a good idea to go online and show off all your guns, right?
Yeah, you're targeted.
All this bullshit, or you ended up being meddling in many matters and you got sent to prison.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they might take you out of prison and send you right off to the fucking military.
Because that's what's gonna happen.
They were doing that during the Vietnam War.
Yeah, we knew a guy. I mean, LG. His grandfather, whatever, this devil, basically stabbed somebody to death, and instead of him going to jail, he got sent off to war. And he was doing what an Edomite does best, and just slaughtering people. And that's what's gonna happen. A lot of you 2/3 man, a lot of you people that had sentences, they're just gonna knock on that cell and say, "Listen, get out, man. Get your suit on. You're gonna go get sent off to war next week." It's gonna be just like that. But I had a precept that I had before, the book of 1 John 2:17, "And the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever." So going back to what we were saying about these fucking phony ass celebrities that everybody follows and lusts after, that's eventually gonna pass away, man. It's gonna dissipate into the ground very soon. But the men and the sincere women that are doing the will of the Heavenly Father, they're going to abide forever. And we hope and pray that we endure and we're of that number.
Yeah, and now you're seeing what these certain people. Some people are you're seeing Esau. He's starting to put out different military advertisements. Now people are joining the military. They still think they're gonna get those benefits.
It's crazy how all this shit is happening and people are getting marked in massive numbers. It's not just a couple of people. I mean, they're sending thousands of people in body bags. And these people are still signing up for war, man. But
the thing is, they can lie about.
They're good at hiding it, man.
what I'm saying? They're very good at hiding things.
They're good at hiding it.
You know, they that's what Esau, one of his main things is being a forger of lies. You know, he lies with statistics and different things.
It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So if that's ultimately, you're being destroyed, man, because you people are simple-minded. You're not knowledgeable based off these scriptures. You want to get super deep with the philosophies of this world, getting all deep with the Quran and Buddha and all that crap, all them fake-ass books.
The scriptures is what is likened up to like what they call it like milk, like these
milk.
basic foundational scriptures.
They're
likened unto milk, right? Or they're simple. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need. You don't need all these different things. But and that's the thing. Just these people they have no spiritual understanding. They believe they're gonna get sent off to a war, and then they believe they have a chance of coming back. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, man, this time you ain't coming back, bro.
You ain't coming back.
You're not coming back. You know what I'm saying?
It's over.
And this book of Joel 2 verse 20 it says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army," which is talking about the northern American army, the Babylonians, American army, right? And it says, "And will drive him into the land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. And his sting shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he had done great things." Right, so these American troops, their body, right, is literally going to be left, to die. You're not. This time around during that Third World War, also known as the Third Woe. There's not going to be a fourth woe, a fifth woe. This is it, bro. The scriptures say the second woe has passed, but the third woe cometh quickly. Right, so roughly paraphrasing. So, the thing is, according to prophecy, there's no fourth, fifth, sixth woe. So there's not. So this is your final, your final judgment. A lot of you people your judgment is to get sent off to war.
Yeah.
Ultimately, because you were just the Lord predestined these people. And if you're one of those people that fall out or you stop taking this truth seriously, the Lord could literally put on a spirit for, some military draft guy to walk up your door.
Right up to your door.
Literally put your name on like a Google Sheets or something and say, we're going to get this guy down, we're going to go look for this list, and we're going to see, who's here. They see you in there, write your name. And just fucking send you off.
And you're binge playing Overwatch, and the next thing you know, that you have a military recruiter looking right through your window. You're looking at him through the peephole, and he's telling you, "I know you're in there. You can come out, or else by tomorrow we're gonna rip you out." And you're not gonna be able to just sit there in the comfort of your home and eat, beef and eggs all day, and just fucking binge. You're gonna be. We know people like that, man. And that's the thing, man. A lot of you people, man, a lot of you scoffers, a lot of you people that just chose to, forsake the truth. A lot of you people that chose to just jump on comment boards and just be vexing spirits, them pranksters, those little prankster jits, and so on and so forth. Because you know what we're talking about. People that just go up and vex the spirit, the men of the Lord, your spirits of vexation. They're going to be the same people. They're going to be trolled, man. They're going to be trolled with the fat letter at their door real soon, man. And if you don't sign up for it, they're going to be thrown into prison.
There was a scripture that was speaking about people trying to outplay the Lord. It was trying to let people run into the Lord. It was something like that. I can't find it, but I think it was the book of, I don't know, but you can't outrun the Lord though, bro. You know what I'm saying? The Lord controls everything. The Lord, He doesn't do all things. So and the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Don't think that you might be exempt, from judgment or whatever's going to happen in the future.
Because you've even seen instances where people will go off and murder, and we were talking about this a few days ago. They'll murder somebody, and then 50, 60 years later, they find the the forensic evidence and the technology advances, and ultimately, man, that's the Lord putting it on these detective spirits to do that, man. Because
so
they're not
Lord,
gonna.
He can send the same spirits,
Yeah.
and He can remind you, He can put the spirit, wait, we missed this house, let's go take these people.
Right.
Let's go see if there's any people in there, see if they're, what is it?
Anybody?
In the age gap of military men.
Because they might see a
They might
basketball
go
hoop.
through all these different houses,
Yeah.
right?
They might see a
But
basketball.
the Lord might put it on their spirit, skip, one or two houses, and those two houses, those are the men of the Lord in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You already know the Lord. He's not gonna, He's not gonna set his men up to go get drafted.
I got one.
I got this. 1 second. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 2:10. It says, "Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in His fear and was forsaken?" Right. So ultimately, the Lord, right? If you're trusting in the Lord, right? If you're one of the Lord's sincere, elect, right? He's not going to send you out in the military to go, fight for Esau. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of these people, they're gonna perish. Right? What do you have?
This is the book of Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So, you're under the Lord's divine protection during these times. You might have it to where you have a bunch of neighbors, and these ICE agents and these recruiters are scouting, and they're seeing soccer balls in the corner and basketball hoops, and they're like, "Oh shit, there's kids in here. There's men of age." And then they might pass by your house and they're completely blinded, or their house just doesn't show up in their vision.
Or whatever they have, whatever technology they have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have all sorts of technology. They have the different Palantir technology that they can start seeing through walls and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we need those spiritual powers, because the Lord, He's gonna give those spiritual powers to fight against these devils during these last.
I think they had like some sort of technology where you can see through like walls from like 5 miles away.
Yeah, they're
some crazy number,
these
man.
Devils are gonna have like all sorts of frequency weapons, right?
Yeah. You think you're hiding in your bunker and you're safe,
Thermal scopes,
and they see you, man.
They put those in Call of Duty and all these different games. And not to go off topic, but it is a various topics lesson. But they put all these things in these games, right, to condition people, right? And what they had, Call of Duty take place in 2025, right? And around this time period, right, 2026, right? They had all these different like robot troops, right? The different types of like weapons with thermal scopes. They do that to condition people to go to the military.
Yeah.
Right. Or to get them conditioned to martial law. But ultimately, that's his devil. His end goal is to have full control, right? And even get his military troops on literally governing U.S. United States neighborhoods. Yeah, you got something.
The majority of people in the U.S., man, you got Joe Sixpack with the handgun. When shit hits the fan, man, and those spirits of vengeance start popping out, a lot of these people are going to make very irrational decisions. That's what they want. They want all these people to have weapons and to flex their weapons and to collect more and more, because they know when that hour of temptation comes, when Jacob's trouble starts hitting in full effect.
And these people, they don't even have you got to think you go to some of these people's houses in the world, like in the world or something, right? You just see the way they speak and the way they talk and decisions they make and just the things that they consume or watch, and they're already making irrational decisions, right? They're already imagine when all hell breaks loose and you got military on the streets, people breaking in doors, there's no food, These people are gonna make terrible decisions, bro. Go ahead.
Luke 23 and 31, for if they do these things in the green tree, what shall be done in the dry?
Yeah, so if they do these things while there's still food, and there's still, you can still go out and drive around, you can go to certain places, you can buy food, for relatively, relatively cheap price. Yeah, the prices are increasing, but you can still go to certain places and buy food. Imagine now that when during the dry season, it's gonna be fucking dry, bro. There's gonna be nothing on the shelves.
You can still go to Culver's and get a milkshake and cheese curds, or frickin' Taco Bell, get a Crunchwrap Supreme. I mean, literally, that's these people, man. They're so caught up on eating GMOs, Cheetos, all that shit, that when you take all that food away from them and there's nothing left for them, for the parasites inside of them to feed on, what do you think is going to happen to their overall demeanor? I mean, these people, their gut microbiome and the way they perceive things are so fucked up because they have so much shit and chemicals and backed up in front of them. They've never fasted, they've never taken care of themselves.
There's parasites in your brain that parasites that make you crave unhealthier foods and stuff.
Yeah, so
imagine when all of a sudden all that shit is gone.
Yeah.
They're gonna make terrible decisions.
Terrible. I there's so many different examples, man. You see, in the projects, they have those mini marts on each and every corner, and typically Elam and Ishmael are running them. Sometimes Moab, and they're not feeding anything healthy. They're not giving you any healthy options. They got terrible sodas with colorings, chips with seed oils, preservatives, things that will kill you, man. Ramen noodles just sit in your body forever. So it's literally prepping these people to get worse and worse emotionally.
Yeah, the Lord, He's setting up the stage for destruction. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be so bad out here. The prophets are able to see, right? It's the book of Jeremiah, 15, 22 and 24. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? And how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord.
Yep.
Right. So the prophets, we see that there's a sound of destruction, right? And ultimately the Lord. He's the one who sets things up. You know what I'm saying? And Babylon is going to become a desolation,
a wasteland.
You think it's bad right now? It's going to be a fucking nuclear wasteland.
And
it is and the thing is, and actually the brother Selah mentioned this basically. On the maps too. It's going to look completely different once those nukes hit. It's not going to even look like. You see the shape of the United States on these maps and stuff. It's not going to even look have that same shape anymore. It's going to have that same type of
elevation.
That what's the terrain?
Terrain's
going to be fucking destroyed.
The mountains, everything.
Yeah.
Imagine mountains falling.
Mountains falling.
Imagine volcanoes falling.
You can have different things
Grand Canyon.
What is it? Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, Grand Canyon.
The Lord, He set certain things up too, just to destroy.
Yeah.
And just destroy America. He's waiting there's certain volcanoes and stuff just to wait, and then when that destruction, when he allows it, he's just gonna fucking let all these things activate.
Yeah, so it's going to be a terrible time, but we pray and hope that we're going to be delivered in these times. That's really why we're doing this lesson right now, is to wake up the men and women that are able to hear this gospel. Everybody else, you're going to sign up for your destruction. I mean, it's already predestined.
Yeah. That's all you got? Yeah, that's all I got. These are just various prophecies based on destruction. And Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. All right, we're going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, and double honors to the apostles and elders, our great millstones who teach and will well, and salutations to out there feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua with sincerity, the truth and charity. So on.